Turn it over now to Dr. Phil Gingrey from Georgia.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the gentleman from Tennessee, Dr. Rowe, for yielding time to me. It is incredibly concerning that the Obama administration has continued full speed ahead on a rollout of a system, even after numerous warnings from vendors and from Congress. The website has led to confusion in the insurance marketplace, as well as put consumers' personal information at risk to lax security protocols. Even after the website is technically fixed, Mr. Speaker, as Dr. Rowe mentioned, and it probably will be, consumers will still face higher premiums and the likelihood that they will be unable to see the doctors to which they have grown accustomed. Mr. Speaker, I have heard from a number of my constituents in the past few weeks about the disastrous effects of the President's health care law. I will take a little time this evening to share with my colleagues a few of the observations from good, solid Georgians. Tom, a Georgia Blue Cross customer, told me his Blue Cross policy went up originally by about $50 due to the Affordable Care Act. About 2 weeks ago, I got a note that said my old policy no longer exists and my new policy will now cost $100 more. That's a quote from Tom. Dottie from Metro Atlanta told me that her husband's employer was forced to drop their family plan and would instead offer them only 2 more costly options. Either plan would increase their premium by at least $160 a week, Mr. Speaker. And a mother in my district told me that her young daughter's Humana plan was canceled only 2 weeks after being promised that the price of the new plan would be locked down for a full year. Mr. Speaker, the President kept telling the American people, and this is the quote, if they liked their insurance, they could keep it, period. And the period is part of the quote. It should have gone on, as Dr. Rowe suggested, until they can't. This promise has surely been broken. Millions of citizens have received cancellation notices from their insurers. They are now left with uncertainty over whether this new coverage will also be affordable. And speaking of affordability, Mr. Speaker, let me share with you a few other stories from constituents, and then I'll yield back to the gentleman from Tennessee, because I know there are other members on the floor that also wants to speak on this issue. Mike told me that Obamacare, quote, has been a financial disaster, unquote, for his family. It used to cost him just under $300 a month to cover his wife and daughter on his insurance. But under Obamacare, even that bronze plan, you know, there are 4 options, and bronze is supposedly the least expensive, will cost him $700 a month, and get this, Mr. Speaker, $5,000 deductible. He was formerly paying $300 a month. If you like your insurance, you can keep it. And as Dr. Rowe said, Mr. Speaker, everybody's premiums are going down on an average of $2,500 per year. Not so. Teresa from Cartersville, also in my 11th Congressional District of Georgia, she and her husband told me that their premium is increasing from $550 to more than $900 a month. That's almost, Mr. Speaker, almost a 40% increase. Robert from Metropolitan Atlanta, again, a little part of my district, told me that even though they were underwritten in June, his wife's policy had increased from $387 to $557 a month. That's a 30% increase. Finally, before I yield back to the gentleman from Tennessee, Robin from Atlanta received notice that her family's premiums will increase by 15% without any additional benefits. I'll yield back to Dr. Rowe, and I look forward to continuing this discussion with my colleagues as we go through the evening, and I thank him.